Welcome back, guys. John here with Range Up. Very first shots with my new to me, IMI made Jericho 941F. Got a 17 round magazine loaded up with some Spear Lawman 115 grain. This has been a kind of a little bit of a dream gun for me for a couple years now, and finally was able to get a military surplus a couple weeks ago. So anyway, let's try it out. This is a single action only. It's got the almost kind of like 1911 style safety right there, so you can carry it cocked and locked if you would like. All right, here we go. Lock back, good shooting gun. Getting a little used to that trigger. It's kind of got a long reset. I'm not huge on that. Other than that, great shooting. Let's load up 17 more rounds again. Spear Lawman. I'll have to admit, I'm just starting kind of to dip my foot in the surplus. Well, probably about a year ago. But something that is catching on quick with me. And these Jerichos, if you guys don't know, they were the Israelis' take on the CZ75. Now, a lot of people think that these are even better. They have the polygonal rifling for their barrels. Just a really nice all steel blued gun, you know, just what I think about with a typical military surplus handgun from the Cold War era, you know, down to like the World War II era, and even further down, you know, just nice steel blued handguns. Sights could be a little bit better, but still just a very nice quality gun. We'll go into the details of it a little bit more here in a little bit. But there's a website I kind of keep an eye on for some good surplus that I found a couple of months ago. Small company. And they had some Jerichos come in a month or two ago. But I did not get my order in quick enough, missed out. But they had some more come in. They had these single actions only also, along with some double action and single action. But I really wanted the single actions only, mainly because I wanted to see how good those trigger work, how good the trigger is on them. Typically those single action only guns, not only just with the Jerichos, but with many hammer pistols, the single actions tend to have a really good trigger. Now, of course, even in a double action, single action hammered fire gun, even the single action is always going to be smoother, but in a gun that's dedicated just for single action only, typically you're even going to have a much more fine, even crisper, shorter trigger on those than you would find on the single action version of a double action, single action one, if that makes sense. All right, that must be 17, guys. Again, 115 grain Spear Lawman, or TMJ loads. Gun shoots extremely accurate, and that's kind of what these are known for. Here we go. Lock back. Smooth shooting. Just gotta get my aiming down better with it. The sights are, I don't know, I think it's me getting used to that trigger. Not hitting quite as good as I would like quite yet. I'm gonna try it now with some Winchester 124 grain NATO load. I'm just gonna load up 10 of these. This gun did come with one magazine. As I think I've already said, it's 17 rounds, so 17 plus 1 is your capacity. I have not looked into this too much, but the gun dealer who I bought this from, they said that there are a lot of common mags for these, not only the originals, but like Mech Gars. They'll make them. I'm not sure I am pretty certain they are not compatible with any CZ75 mags though, but I cannot say that for certain. All right, so 10 rounds, 124 grain NATO, some Winchester version. And again, so this is a double action, as I already said. I mean, a single action only, so it cannot fire in double action mode. It does have the safety on the side like a 1911, so you could carry it cocked and locked like it is right now. But when I drop the hammer, and you want to do this very carefully when you have a round loaded in here, but once you do that, as you can see, the trigger is dead. It does not interact with the hammer like on a true double action, single action hammer fired pistol. So you will have to cock that. That's why being able to carry these cocked and locked is nice, so you don't have to, in the heat of the moment, think about, you know, cocking your hammer. Let's see if I can't get a little bit more accurate on these 10. I'll try to go a little bit more smoother. Lock back, you can feel those were NATO rounds, a little more pop than those Lawman 115 grain. The reset on this trigger is a little sticky. At times it feels like maybe I'm short stroking it, not letting it reset all the way, but it feels like I'm going all the way out and then coming in and it's not catching, and then having to let out again real quick and then it catch. I'm gonna kind of be a little more mindful about it on these next rounds and see if it's just me not letting the reset go all the way back or if it's a little something else. We'll try 10 more rounds of that NATO, see how it does with that again. Keep eye on that reset. The gun seems to shoot great though. I believe the barrel is outstanding like you kind of typically hear with this. I mean, you could tell with those first rounds I shot, even though from that full-size dipstick target, I'm literally 5 yards away, 6 yards, but still. As long as you pull the trigger right, it definitely points to aim. Now, I'm probably a little unusual when it comes to this, but I actually shoot striker-fired pistol guns better than hammer-fired guns. Always have. Lauren, she's different than me. She can kill it on a hammer-fired gun. Her favorite gun is a 226 we have. It's a Legion. Originally, we didn't have a Legion, but she liked that style of gun so much, we ended up trading up till we got her a Legion. But anyway, striker fired gun, for whatever reasons, always seemed a little bit easier for me to shoot. I tend to have a little bit smoother or more natural trigger pull. But now listen, that's all just because I have not had enough trigger time. And it's crazy to think about that because I've definitely shot you know, thousands of rounds. But, and the other thing is, in the past, I've always shot, and then it's been long gaps in between me shooting again. But over about the past year, I've really started trying to consistently shoot, and between that time, I've noticed a good increase in my shooting, especially over the past 3 months since I've been able to dedicate. I sold my business, and I was able to dedicate my time more to doing some things like this. Magazine is not wanting to cooperate with me right now. All right, there it is. Yeah, I don't know what happened. I think that one I just put in, I kind of put in at a nosedive, so it got jammed up a little bit. Again, this is a Surplus, a little bit more picky, you know, than your typical ready to roll Glock or whatever, you know, anything similar to that. All right, I'm gonna focus on that reset a little more. Let's see how it does. Man, the action on this thing is so smooth. Slippery smooth. Didn't lock back, but that time I did, the reset seemed fine. So maybe it was just me not letting it all the way out fully, or trying to do it a little too fast, not sure, but it seems to be working just fine. Starting to get a little warm. So let's try a little Tula steel case. Not a huge fan of running this through a older Surplus, but what the hell. I'm sure it's been through much worse conditions. If it can't handle this, then I believe there's an issue, which I'm sure it will, or at least I hope it will. We'll go ahead and load it up all the way, 17 rounds, see how it does. Y'all see they got peanuts planted out here. First time in many years, because we used to have a little bit of an issue with hogs. I was able to take one last week, about a 200-pound sow. Got some good meat off of it. I'm gonna try to maybe go again this evening. These Jerichos also, cool little feature about these Surplus is they're still labeled IMI. But as many of you guys probably already know, IMI is not around anymore. The company was changed to IWI. I believe IMI was originally basically a country-owned company, and then they privatized it and changed it to IWI. So in these Surplus, they're even a little more collectible if you have the original IMI grips on them and markings, like right here where it says there is Israel Military Industries. Pretty cool feature. Also, the original one of these, the original 941, they had a slide mounted safety that a lot of people did not like. But anyway, those models, from what I read and hear, are really popular from a anime, like Japanese anime called Bell Pop or something like that. I'm not sure. Y'all may know it. Come on, guys. Getting guns over anime? I'm joking. Whatever floats your boat. I think I got 17 in here. Tula steel case. Let's see how it goes. Locked back, ran just fine. Well, just realized some bad news. Just got done shooting a couple of magazines and realized my GoPro was set on photos, not video. And I had the headgear on right now to wear it on my head. I guess that's when you should always check it before you start. Anyway, y'all, hate I didn't get those shots, but we'll make up for it. But I brought a gun out to compare to our Jericho here. And it's definitely not as nice as that and as new, but just an old classic, the Tokarev. This is a Yugoslavian. See the emblem right there on top. But anyway, just another great steel military surplus warhorse. And this also has the slide mounted safety, and also this is only a single action only. Of course, the trigger pull is way worse on this than that, but they do have a lot of similar features, except like we already know, this is much more outdated than this version. But anyway, I thought it'd be fun to shoot this a little bit since they're both single action only. Oh, blued steel surplus pistols. Got my little handy dandy little ammo cases here. Really like those. All right, guys, so the Tokarev shoots the Tokarev ammo right here. This is a 7.62 millimeter, and this is the PPU line, 85 grain. This is a little hot shooting pistol ammo. Look at that cartridge. Super fun. I've got the Polish, I think it's the PPS 43, or that's wrong, but the little sub gun. And I enjoy the cartridges and that so much that I got one of these bad boys. My first Yugo one, the trigger was broke on it. The trigger on my first one had the trigger that's in the middle. It had the safety, that's right in the middle of the trigger, like a Glock. You know, these didn't have safeties on them originally, but to be imported into the U.S., according to U.S. law, they have to have safeties. So a lot of the importers did the little trigger-mounted safety, and my trigger did not work. So this is the second one I've got that has the slide-mounted safety. I really do prefer that. These triggers are so much more smooth and comfortable without that safety that those importers do. I'm sure if they did them right, it'd be better, but you know, they tried to do that as cheap as possible. But this is just a little hot rod of a round. I know everybody says that about it, but it is true. A lot of fun to shoot. Guys, I think it's a seven shot maybe. Anyway, let's see how she does. All right, just want to make sure this was still running. Since it was not just a minute ago. Again, hope that's an angle enough for you guys to see something. All right, here we go. Aim at the furthest target first. There we go. Lock back triggers on these things are not great, to say the least. We'll load it up one more time real quick. Still a fun gun to shoot. Shitty trigger though. But hey, if you learn on a shitty trigger, then you'll be a badass on a good one. Maybe. All right, this is some Seller and Belot version. Looks like some old ammo. I bought this actually with this gun, 85 grains too. FMJ ammo, full metal jacket. If any of you military savvy people did not know. All right, a couple more rounds. with our Yugo Tokarev. Got it. Wreck the hole. Lock back. Fun gun to shoot, guys. So we got 17 rounds in the Jericho 941F. Here we go. First round's a tooless steel case, and the rest is a 115 grain Spear Lawman. They're TMJ ammo. Let's hit that further steel target up there. There we go. Then lock back. Terrible shooting. We'll give it a go again. Terrible shooting on my part. Last rounds I have, everybody. Not quite a full mag. I think we got around 15. It is toolless steel. The last mag though, here we go. With the Jericho 941F. Shot great so far today. May have to come back out and do one more range day since I did lose a couple mags on the video since I didn't hit the button right like a jackass. All right, here we go. That's it, boys and ladies. Thank y'all. CPAP 85. Here we go. Night sight was on. She's out.